like big data is like the big thing now. And what I mean, there's different segments to data. Obviously, there's like social media is like the big form of data. So social media, that concludes of what's this? Instagram, LinkedIn. Well, LinkedIn is considered obviously as a professional platform, but it is considered part of social media. And there's Twitter. There's what other feed do they get? Google is one of them. Your Gmail, your banks. So when you apply for whatever, or even if you're inquiring, that data is stored somewhere. No one is thinking like, where are you storing this data? And those terms and conditions that we all just go and then accept, that is very dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Even your WhatsApp, there was a time of WhatsApp where WhatsApp had a status icon.
And everybody was like, huh? How did you get here?
Exactly. WhatsApp had a status icon that I can't remember. They said it was a security sort of measure that they put on there. And then obviously, in ACA there will be memes.
Of course.
There was a meme of like WhatsApp saying, please send video. Please send video. Like WhatsApp texts you to say, replying to your status and please send the video. So like data is, so I've went a lot of social media platforms, and this was 6-7 years ago.
You mean you went off?
I went off. Like I literally deleted my Facebook account, and at the time I was able to delete my account. If you try to delete your Facebook account now, you can't delete your Facebook account. You can only deactivate it for temporarily, and then you can reactivate it.
Oh my God.
Try delete it now. You won't delete. You can't delete it. You can't even delete your pictures. They get stored somewhere.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So,
but even 6 years ago, was that a thing? Like if you deleted your account, were your pictures still stored somewhere?
well, in the time I was deleting the stuff, you were able to delete it.
But trust
That's
me,
the
it's
cloud.
sitting somewhere.
It's in the cloud.
But it's no longer. But you must remember the technology that has developed over the 6-7 years is not the same technology that they had. So you must remember Google has multiple servers now.
I
Did they
believe
have those servers back then? No.
I believe
they probably
I
had.
believe it's not published,
Yes.
but it is not
I'm
vanished.
assuming, I'm assuming obviously there's nothing deleted really,
Yeah.
like if you think about it.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming in the time that we're at that specific time, I'm assuming there were loopholes. And hence that's why it was critical to act on that, back then.
What do the viewers think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been trying to delete your Facebook account and not managing?
Yeah,
Or are
actually,
you sure?
I challenge everyone by the next week, just let us know if you try to delete your account like permanently, not like deactivate, permanently delete your account and try see if. And then here's another challenge: Google your name and see what comes up, like your full names, like see what is linked to your name, like your Gmail, your old tweets from when you were in high school and saying, "Oh, I like Savannah, yay! I enjoy Savannah better. I see no life better than Savannah."
Let me
That
tell
tweet
you.
Or
how
that whatever,
KK
it is
tricked me.
there.
Keke said I should Google myself, and I Google myself, and I see it says BBC News, and I'm like, okay, why am I saying anything on BBC News? And I read this article, and it's talking about how I don't like how condoms feel. I'm like, what? And then they had my name, Kutlano Butelezi, 21, juice bar or something like that, and I was like, I did this when I was 21. And I remember this conversation with this person, and I was just looking for clout, yo. Like I was just looking for attention. And now, when you Google my name, you see me you see me there under BBC News, my Kutlano Butelezi.
Yeah.
I was just like,
And that's how
my mom
the
knows
bot
me.
sees you, and the bot doesn't take consideration whether you are messing around
Or
or
not.
anything like that.
Yes.
They take it seriously.
So now that's the danger of data. I think Elon Musk mentioned something about the danger of AI taking over what humans are, because what AI does is just continuously learns. If you have Netflix, go watch documentaries like The Social Dilemma. Watch what's the other one? I watched quite recently. My brain is fried.
It's
But
fine.
watch all the what goes into it. How does data get absorbed, who has the rights to that data, and how does that data get sold? Like, for instance, have you noticed if you look for insurance, all of a sudden, like all the insurance stuff starts popping on your screen? Or I speak about something, and then that thing that I'm speaking about is there. If I speak about,
let's make it worse for you. I mean, your phone, for example.
Yeah.
Typically, at any point in time, your phone, but there's the suspicion that your phone is always listening.
Yeah.
Let's say, for example, you say, "Oh, I am so hungry," all right,
and then now all the,
and you happen to be driving,
Yeah.
Maybe using your GPS, like Waze, for example, and ads will start popping up. KFC is
yes,
here. You know what I mean?
Yes. And let me even scare you even further. Well, I'm about to reveal my age here, but anyways, back then, you could take out batteries from your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you can't.
The latest design, try to take out that battery. Let's see.
Yeah.
So there's a reason for everything, but we'll just leave it there. But the danger of big data, and like any data for that matter, like applications that you subscribe to, stuff like that. So I can even go as further as companies use like social media background checks to check the type of character that you are. So now if you are drinking your nip and
Posting it
all the time, yes, we're having fun, we're human beings, we all have a phase in our lives, but then that is documented. The internet is like this thing where you can't delete. Once something is there, it's like it's there. It's like if I scratch your face, that's great, I'll leave a mark. That's the internet for you. So whatever you do, you leave a print. So going forward, like with the newer generation, they start thinking about stuff like that, what you put out there, because we live in such a world. Yeah?
Do they care?
No, they don't. But the funny part is that the world that we're living in is so superficial, So it's everything that, it's like everyone is a brand. So whatever you put out there is what we believe.
Exactly.
So if you're gonna put out, horrible content, we automatically think you're a horrible person.
Yeah.
We never ask the question of like, by the way, why did you post that? Or what is the reason for? No one cares. It's like, oh, you posted that. Yes.
So it's pretty much, it's a snapshot.
Exactly.
They won't take into the character who's actually KK is,
Yes.
what he said jokingly, whatever. They take you seriously rather than it's a snapshot, and that's what the world
Plus,
will
the
know.
sad part is bots. So bots don't know what human feelings are.
Yeah.
They don't know. They just get instructions. There's codes that goes into, or algorithms. So that goes into these systems and these data systems. Like that's why you're big. Facebook was in trouble a few years ago regarding data breach.
Yeah.
WhatsApp, which is bought by Facebook, Instagram, which is bought by Facebook. So now you're starting to have this monopoly that owns pretty much all the data platforms.
Yeah.
And then who's asking, where is this data going?
But
who has the rights to that data?
The reality is that you gave your consent.
That's the sad reality.
You have released that data to be usable.
But you must remember, the reason why Facebook got in trouble too is that yes, these terms and conditions. In those terms, are you saying that? Are you signing to selling your data to third parties?
That's where the problem comes in.
That's where the problem comes in. But I guess what you're trying
to
say
So you are subscribing to, let's say, that platform, and you say yes, I'm accepting in this platform.
Yeah.
But then third parties, it becomes a bit foggy there, because now, if let's say I'm putting my data there, and this is what's happening now. Marketing companies are going, we want to target this specific segment of people, this specific class. Where are they going to get that data from?
Yeah.
To market that.
So you were mentioning earlier on that there was a breach.
With
Facebook and I think LinkedIn as well. The details.
LinkedIn, and what is the other one? Facebook, and then there was one here in SA that we had with the major banks where the TransUnion. There was a breach on that. Everyone received emails. Your bank should have sent you an email to say there's a breach. We have this under control. So what that means is, once they have access to your data, that information can be utilized for phishing, for scams. Some would get married for citizenships. Some will fly, and some will buy fridges with your name. It mixes up your credit score. So there's a lot of implications that's negative when that happens.
I just want to say when you mentioned the third party, right?
Yeah.
You brought up that whole people should go on Netflix and watch Social Dilemma, and I kind of caught a bit of it.
Yeah.
And they were specifically talking about we are the product.
Yeah. Basically.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, but now we are the product. Who's then the consumer?
So
Who are they selling to?
so basically it's like reverse psychology. So the companies are the consumers of your data in order to sell you stuff back to you.
But which companies now? Because you say there's like
Well,
a third
there's a
party.
lot. Like
So
for instance, insurance,
who's
financial
actually-
institutes. I won't name
Yeah.
drops. I still want to live.
Yeah.
Financial institutions, marketing companies.
Yeah.
Marketing companies sell that data to those institutions to
Mhm.
say this is how you're gonna reach.
So
Social
let's say,
dilemma.
for example, you've
Social
got a
dilemma,
new
yeah.
product that you want to get to the market,
Yeah, you want
and
to
you
launch,
do
yeah.
not know who to sell it to.
Yes.
And you want to get some predictability in terms of your market hit, right?
Mm.
And what is the addressable market thereof. So what happens is that you go to these companies that hold data, for example,
Okay.
and they will sort of allow you to understand the avenues that will allow you to have the best reach to your market. So who's buying new cars, or who's drinking water, and if Keiko drinks 5 liters of water a day,
That's who
and
you're gonna market
that's
to.
when you're gonna go market to. So it's pretty much picking up these bits and pieces about
So
you.
So then I want to know, right? Are us agreeing to the terms and conditions? Are those third parties then not in the fine print?
Well, that's the challenge right there, because like if you look at the terms and conditions, how long that thing is, I still challenge anyone, one of our viewers, or actually anyone that has read any of the terms and conditions from page 1 to all the way to the end.
They call it fine print for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like no one has really read until, you see, it's a trap. So a lot of people on social media, if you download Instagram, for instance, you probably just clicked accept,
Yeah.
agree to terms.
Yeah.
Some of people have joined like years ago and they have this huge following. And if you look at things like influencers too, how do they identify influence?
Exactly.
How do you identify those people? Data.
Exactly.
You will say, okay, this person has a reach of this X amount of people, and every time this person posts at this specific time, this is the amount of views this person gets. This is data. This is like you feed into the machine, and then this machine pulls reports.
Yeah.
Gives you reports. So for instance, 5-6 years ago, the terms of Facebook versus what the terms of Facebook is now is completely different.
Look, they have to evolve because,
Yeah.
let's say, for example, in South Africa, there was a point where all banks have to adhere to the POPI Act, right?
Yes.
The Personal Information Act.
Yeah.
In Europe, you get the GDPR. And right now, anyone who has a touch point of anybody else's personal information needs to make sure that they handle it in the way that it should be. Look, I think at the end of the day, I mean, it's your responsibility to look after your data.
Yeah.
It's your responsibility. Be responsible what you're putting online, what you're talking about, because at the end of the day, they're not interested in you as a holistic character,
They're
right?
interested you.
They're
in what
picking
you-
bits and pieces about you, and that's how they pretty much so a bot won't understand to say, oh no, Keke was just telling a
Joking.
joke. It's
Yeah.
not a joke.
Yeah.
So data is quite serious.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think it would be great at some point. We need to get an expert around.
Absolutely.
Data.
Maybe get someone. If you're an expert in data and you understand data management and the regulation thereof, hit us up. We'd love to leverage experience. For everybody else's benefit. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Love your
Especially for
topic, dude.
mine, Blondie. Okay. All right. So I want to talk about Nziki Mazwai's situation.
Mm-hmm.
We have to.